What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about, can you trade for a living? The answer is going to be different for everyone, but I'm probably going to say maybe. If you show me what you're doing on a daily basis, I'll probably say no. But that doesn't mean you can't turn this into a living if you change these habits, if you change these disciplines that you follow on a day-to-day basis. So we'll touch on some things that will almost guarantee you don't turn this into a living, as well as things that you should be doing if you want any chance at turning this into a profitable business, taking payouts, scaling your own account, taking payouts from that, right? So let's take a look at the TradeZella here first off. I think the first tip for anyone to turn this into a living is you're going to have to trade more than one account. As we're here in the start of February, I have no trades on yet. But if you look at my month of January, you can see only $4,600 made on 9 days of trading. I don't care so much about the 9 days, but it's the 4,600. That's a low month for me, a slow month for me. But if you remember, in the middle half of this month, I took a payout. I took three payouts actually at the Dallas event, which caused me to now not be trading on a copier. So towards this back half of the month, the $900 week and the $800 week is only on one account. Where normally, if you go back to December, making 8,200, or in November 9,600, it's because it's on multiple accounts. So I think if you want to trade for a living, my opinion in the short term, in the beginning stages, is going to be having multiple trade accounts. I think it's very tough to scale one 50K account into these large profits in a single month with the $2,000 drawdown they give you, or whatever company you're with, right? But I think having multiple accounts will keep you less greedy, because if I could take one trade at $400, I could actually take three trades across the copying account and make 1,200 per day on a per green day, right? So it slows me back in of not having to chase $1,200 by using heavy risk or by taking multiple setups. I can still wait for that one best setup, and if it hits, I win once, but it goes to three accounts. So I really take three winners rather than having to swing three times and hope all three of them win. I'm taking one swing at my best setup, leading into my next point of having a best setup. You need to have a proven, systematic or not, repeatable setup. If you don't have a best setup or even know what your strategy is, there's no way you're going to turn this into a living, because you can't do something consistently for longer than a week or two if there's no plan behind it. But if you have a structured, detailed plan of what you should be doing, then you could follow it for a full month or a full quarter and see the results for it over the long term. So you need to have a proven strategy. Obviously, I have mine of my VWAP strategy and Futures 2.0, which you can check out on ASFX TV. I walk you through A through Z of how to get in, how to get out, sizing, stop loss, you name it, it's in there. So definitely want to check that out on ASFX TV. If you don't have a strategy, you can go to ASFX TV. There's the courses here of Futures 101 as well as Futures 2.0. But once you learn those strategies, you can actually watch me trade them live on the live streams. Every morning through the New York Open, we'll be trading for 3 hours straight, looking for these trade setups and taking one to two, whatever's my best setup, and we're done for the day. Keeping it simple, not over trading. That's another thing we could touch on. Over trading, not knowing how to manage risk, greediness, no discipline will obviously keep you from turning this into a living. Another thing that you should be doing if you want to have any chance at turning this into a living is treating it professionally. Another way of wording that for professionalism is going to be boring. A lot of boring work goes into the consistency that I've been having over the past year or so. It's boring work. You have to journal your trades. You have to mark up your trades. You can look at my past day here. This is just a day where I took a winning trade. So I should just take my trade and get off, enjoy the profits. But I still mark up almost eight other ideas that I could have taken. So I could potentially get better and see more opportunities the next day. And if I do this every day of the week for a full month, I could see 100 ideas that played out, some that won, some that lost, and get more confidence in what I should be looking for, what I don't want to be looking for. This has been losing a lot. This NQL, I don't want to be taking that. But I do want to take this high day break or this New York VWAP bounce, whatever the case may be. Talk about my biggest lesson so I can remind myself of what I'm still learning about myself, about my strategy. And some of you, it's going to be, what am I doing wrong? What keeps coming up? Am I still always getting greedy? Am I still lacking confidence that I'm always hesitating to get in? If you could actually physically write it down and see it every day in these DRCs after a week or 2 weeks of doing them, you're going to be like, that's like the most common theme within here. That's where I need to fix first, because none of this matters if I can't fix that. As well as, what was the best trade? Were you in that best trade of the day? That was where the money was. And if you weren't, that's all right. How can we get in it next time? Let me mark it up, see what I missed, why I didn't like it today, so that I could like it a week from now or 2 weeks from now, right? Just the simple things. It's very boring. I'd like to just make my money and go on with my day, but this is going to help me in the long run. Doing 5 to 10 markups a day for a full month, I'm going to have like 200, 300 reps in the gym, and you're only going to have 10 because you only marked up your trades and you went away for the day. So I'll be stronger at the end of the month, times that times a quarter, times a full year, you're just going to get passed. So, anyways, touching on the strategy, honed in on that a little bit. For anyone that hasn't seen Futures 2.0 and ASFX TV, like I just mentioned, here's some of the examples of trades I took recently in December and January that got me these three payouts that I took with Top Step, looking to take a low a day view up break, but more specifically, with trending structure, clearly bears are in control today, not getting induced into longs for one, but trading off a key level. That's going to be either this opening range low, this black line, the New York VWAP, the black VWAP, or sometimes the initial balance. It's not on this one, but it has to be off a key level, trending structure, getting in on a break for this short, a lower day VWAP. So notice how this break of a lower day comes after this key VWAP retest. So you could have taken these breaks. They're not horrible at all. They could have ran from here, but I think this one is clearly the best because it comes off fully off that key level of New York VWAP. Looking at another one here, steady drift higher. I could want to buy it here. I know I want to buy it today, but I can't just jump in over here hoping it keeps drifting higher, especially back here. You can definitely make money in it long today. But if you want to do this for a living, how many times can you buy it like this and make money over the long term? So it may win today, but that doesn't mean it will pay you for months to come or even the year to come. All right. So sacrifice that short term feeling of, oh, nice, I made a nice little win, for the professionalism, the long term approach of saying, this is what I'm looking for. Now here's my key level retest that I just mentioned, off opening range high and New York VWAP, and a break of high day VWAP. Now all the stars are aligning. This fits my plan. All right, let's be professional, put risk on, get in, get out, go on with my day. There's no need to fear that this is going to run forever without me and I can't make money today. I want to get in long. Leave that all in the past. There's plenty of setups to come. If you don't take it now, if you wait till 11:40 this morning, it gives you your best setup. So patience, but also you can't really have patience if you don't know what you're being patient for. I know what I'm looking for. So when this is all happening, it doesn't look like that. I know I don't need to do anything because until it looks like what it looks like on the right side here, I don't need to be involved in the market. Could I game plan ways to get in and say, oh, if I buy it here, it could go higher? Sure, have fun with that. Do whatever you want to distract yourself. Mark them up because, yes, it could win. But I know that when this presents, my money needs to be in the market and it's going to win for me 7 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10. Another one here, having an idea of what your best setup is, that once this presents, there's zero hesitation, there's full confidence in it. I like my stop loss, so I can leave it alone. I put on my normal risk. It's copied to 3 accounts, $1,200 day. All right, nice. One day over $1,000. I don't need that many days of trading this month in order to turn it into a living, which is what we're trying to do here, right? Here's one last markup we can go over real quick. Same idea. I want to be a seller back here. This thing is falling. Let me get in. It runs a little bit more depending on where you sold it at. If you sold it down here because you were that fearful it was going to go on forever, you don't really make that much move out of it. But then you see it pull back to those key levels, right? Open range low, New York VWAP, break of low a day VWAP. Would you look at that? There was more move to be had if you just been patient for the pullback, act without hesitation, shoot for your clear target, go on with your day. So you need to have a plan, and you need to be sending, like I said, multiple accounts. I think that's just going to take the ease away from having to be greedy. I'll admit, I understand why people feel the need to keep on trading or to trade very heavy size because it's not enough money. And if you make $300 per trade and you only trade one account, I can see why you'd want to shoot for maybe a $600 day or $900 by keep on trading. But if you could have multiple accounts by taking one setup, but not risking too much per account. Yes, if you lose today, you're going to lose 900, but the damage per account is going to be 300 because it's only one trade per account. So if you want to trade multiple accounts, I'm now doing it with Tradeify. So I'm going with the 50K straight to funded. You can even do the 150K just to get more drawdown. I would definitely suggest that. No harm in that. If you want to spend a little bit extra money to get way more drawdown, definitely perks in that. And you can actually get 30% off the straight to funded accounts if you use my name, Evan Dyer, at checkout. You can get a discount of 30% off. So I swooped up 3 of these accounts. That's what I'm going to be trading here in February. 3 of these straight to funded accounts, tie them to a copier. Same idea. I'm going to be risking $500 per trade, so I can make $1,500 a day on my good days. And on my bad days, maybe look to cut my loser a little sooner, lose $400, $350 per trade, whatever the case may be, right? But trading multiple accounts, able to scale my business quicker rather than trying to swing for trying to make 10K on one account with $300 worth of risk. That's going to take a lot of trades. If I could try to make 1,000 a day and I'm looking for 10,000 on the month, I only need 10 trades technically if they all win, right? but that's probably not going to be the case. You're going to have to lose some trades. But overall, it takes the patience to a whole nother level. I mean, look at the month of December, 13 days, only 8K. In the month of January, to start the year, I'm all excited. 9 days, 5K, 4,600. That imagine if I did have another account tied onto it, right? Because like I said, in the back half of this month, it was just on one account. So it's nice for that one account. But imagine if there was another 2,400 tied to two more accounts. There's the extra 4 grand, and now we're up to nine. I'll take 9K a month. But another thing I think you need, right? So we talked about you need a strategy. I think you well know that by now, by going over any of these videos or by this point in the video. But doing your markups, like I was saying, journaling your trades, that's huge. If you want to talk about doing this for a living, we're going to have to be pretty professional about it. We can't be looking to take random trades that we don't take often and could it win? Yes, but putting too much risk on, especially if they're on a trade copier, putting too much risk on will really hurt you if it's a really bad day, as though it could really reward you if you have a great home run day. But again, is that the exciting thinking, or is that the professional thinking of if this trade wins, I can make so much money? Or is it just a slow, professional, boring, consistent process of stacking green days over the course of a week, of a month, of a quarter? And then you look back after 3 months, you're like, oh, wow, I stacked together a pretty nice streak there, not being too zoomed in on the day. Another reason people can't turn this into a living is because they want to turn this into their business tomorrow, by the end of the week, that there's no patience to even get to this place of consistency, that it's going to take at least a month of doing these slow and boring things like tracking your trades, taking a couple simple setups a day. You got to go for it for a full month to really see, oh, I slowed myself down this month and I actually made 4,600. That's way more than I've ever made by doing less in the market. The work you're going to do to try to make this a living is not going to be doing more within the market. It's doing more, not off the desk, but more in the back end, like journaling your trades, studying your old markups, watching videos, reading a book, doing more mindfulness studying, whatever the case may be. Once you have your strategy, now you just need to be able to execute it once or twice a day, a couple times a week, whatever the case may be, right? But definitely look into trading multiple accounts. Like I said, Tradeify is going to be the one I'm trading from here on out. So you can use my name, Evan Dyer, for the 30% off. That goes for any of the accounts, but I do the straight to fund it because I think it's just worth it. Skipping that challenge phase save you some 2 or 3 weeks, right? So check out the strategy if you don't have one. Study up on mine. The Futures 101 is free, so definitely check that out if you've never traded futures. But then I'll see you guys on ASFX TV when I take these trades live. All right, so hopefully many of you in the new year can turn this into a living. I really hope you do. And I think just one thing, not that it's the end all be all, but one thing by tuning into these videos tells me a little bit that you're looking to learn and you're wanting to go in the right direction, learn what it takes to do. So I have full confidence that many of you can turn this into a living if you just follow the right habits, let go of that greediness in the short term, do the boring work, look to always learn, trade multiple accounts with less size per account, have a beautiful setup. Doesn't have to look like mine, but know what you want to trade. And it may only present 20 times this month, but taking 18 beautiful winners is better than taking 40 trades, but you only won 10 of them. So when people try to argue that, I don't really understand it. But regardless, always feel free to reach out if you have any questions about any of this, my strategy, my accounts that I trade. But other than that, trade safe. See you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.